Hello everyone and welcome to this video about the Discord server for Neuromatch Academy. The goal of this video is to provide you with all the information you need to get the best out of the Discord server we will be using throughout the summer schools. So the video will be split in three parts. The first part is about onboarding and how to get into this Discord server. The second part is about using Discord and specifically the NMA server, and the last part will be how to get help if you are lost on this server. So let's start with the onboarding part. If you are here, this means that you probably have the invitation link, as I do here in my research bar. So when you get this link, you can either click on it from your email, from the email that sent it to you, or you can just copy paste it in your internet browser. And as you do that, you will end up in this page. So you have two possibilities here. So either you join the server with simply a username, which is not associated with an account, or you can, if you already have an account, log in with that account. So I think the best solution, if you don't have an account, is to create one before joining the server, such that you can have all your future NMA thing on the same account. So if I do that and I log into my account, I will get access to this server. Here I am, so it's logging, and as I get here, you see that I landed on this page, and you see that on the left here, you have different categories. And it's kind of important because you see that I see administrative, information, lobby, social, and diversity, but that's all. And specifically, I have nothing about my pod. And in order to get into the section related to your pod, you have to answer to the Neuromatch pod. And as you land here, you observe that on the top left here, you see that you have an NMA icon with a small one in red. And this is because when you enter the server, there is a bot that contacts you, and you see that it asks you to sort you into the appropriate channels, and to do so, it needs your email address. So you just have to enter the email address you use on the NMA portal here, and you can just do that by putting in the chat that you have here. And what I did here is that I typed an address which is not the one with which I logged in, and you see that if I do that, the bot will tell me that this address does not appear to be registered, and then I cannot access to the pod section of the server. So if this happens to you, please verify that the address you just entered is the one with which you access the NMA portal. And as you use the correct address, you see that the message will change. And if I do that, I wait a few seconds, and then I have a new message that contains my name, and as well as it tells me that you have access now to UPod with the name of my pod, which in my case is Neuron Narwhals. And if I go back to the server here, I see that I have no access to this pod Neuron Narwhals. Okay, so this means that if you see this part of the server, which is linked to the pod, the onboarding process has worked correctly. So if this is not the case, what you can do is go back to the message of the bot that you can reach here on the top left, and verify that you got this kind of message with your name and welcome to Neuromatch Academy with the pod. And if this is not the case, try to put the correct address. And if it's still not working, what you can do is that you can go to the NMA support and contact them here. And I will give you more information about how to get through this later in this video. So this was for the onboarding part. Now let's discuss about how to use Discord and how to specifically use the NMA server. So whether you use Discord on your web browser or on the desktop application, you will end up with this view. And you have on the left the list of the server that you have access to. So in the case of this account, I only have access to Nahamatch Academy CN server, but it can be that I have access to more of them, which will line up below this icon. And above this line, I have all the messages that are classified as unread. And as I click on it, I have access to all my DM conversation over here. So this is the way Discord is working. So you have access to this server, and on each server, you have different channels characterized by this fancy square just next to the name. And you have different channels that we will go through just after that. So one important thing also is that on the left here, you see that you can see all the people that are online. And you can, amongst all these people, you can find your name. So in this case, you see that this name is associated with my account. And an important thing is that you can change the nickname of the server. So for example, I want to be called test user here. And the way I can do that is by right click here on my name, change nickname, and I can rename me test user. And one other important thing that can be useful is that you can add the pronouns you want others to use when when discussing to you. And you can do that by just extending your nickname. And for example, in my case, I am test user and I want others to use he and him when they talk to me. I click on save, and you see that now my my nickname has changed, and I'm now test user with the pronouns. So the pronouns thing is really interesting because you just never have to ask, as it's directly put it on the name of the person you are discussing to. So the last thing before going through the specificity of our server is that you can use instance DM in the server. So for example, if I want to discuss with that person about a specific part, for example, hey, did you get what we discussed today, or I didn't get that part, can you help me? I can click on their name, and you see that I can send a new message to this person. And for example, I can send them a message, and you see that just as I do that, I will have the message that appear in my list of message, and you see that you have the history of the DM that you sent to that person. And another feature that you can use on Discord is that you can also call that person, so either using voice call or using video call. And as you do video call, you can share your screen. So if you want to work on a group project with other students, you can easily call them. And one important feature that you can do is that if you are discussing with only one person, you can easily add another person here. So in order to make a group DM, you have to be friend with that person. So for example, in that case, I ask them, I send them a friend request, and as they accept, I can add other friends to the call. And for example, you can make a call with your pod or with your group project to discuss together. And it's easier if you can share the screen, for example, with the video call feature. So if we go back now to the Discord interface, one interesting thing is that, okay, so last thing but not least is that on the left here, you see that you have all the Discord server you have access to and unread messages. Please note that there is a very light line here below between them, and if this message become red, so you can access this menu by right clicking, you will just see the server. And Now let's discuss the different channels we have here. So there is a support channel that we will discuss at the end as we move to the third part of the discussion. Then we have the different channels over here. So the first one is announcements. Also in this channel, you will get all the information about announcements. So whenever there is something that has to be communicated by the NMA organizers, this will happen through that channel. You have a very important channel, which is the channel that contains all the rules about these Discord servers. And there are three main axes that we want to stress out. The first one is that we ask you to be kind and respect, to treat everyone with respect. And second part is that we ask you to not exploit this platform. So this includes this server and all the DMs that you will send to any other NMA member. So you cannot use it for spamming, self-promotions, and so on. And the last part is that we ask you to not post any not safe for work content or any obscene content, neither. So if you see something against these rules or something that makes you unsafe, please let the staff know as soon as possible. So the goal of this server is really to be as welcoming as possible and that everyone feels safe in here. And for this reason, we also added another features that for the various minorities which want to have their feel space, the safe space is exclusive to their communities. They can access these spaces just by reacting to this message. So either with either about race, gender, and LGBTQ plus. Here, so you just have to click on the icon you want to access, and as you do that, you have a new channel that will pop in this diversity area. So the next two channels are respectively for the Twitter account. So you will see all the tweets by the Neuromatch account. You will have job opportunities here that will be published throughout the summer schools. Then the next part is the lobby. So the lobby contains different channels. The first one is introduction, which is a really nice and active channels because every student and every TA, every member is invited to come here and present and introduce themselves. So for example, you can say, hello, I am test user and I am a PhD student at this city. My work is about that. And I'm really excited to work throughout the summer school with all of you and meet new people. For example, so you can adapt this text as you want for sure. Next step is next channel, sorry, is global general. So this is global discussion throughout all time zones where you can interact with other students and TA. And then you have similar channels for the 3 time zones. So as you probably know, the students are split in 3 time zones, and we made time zone specific channels that you can access to even if you are not in these time zones, but that can easily direct people at a given time of the day. If you are in the afternoon in Europe, Africa, this is more likely that this channel will be more active than the other two, but you still can access all of them whenever you want. The next one is literature sharing. So the goal of this channel is to share useful content about the content of the summer school. And then you have a off-topic channel related to any off-topic subject that you want to discuss. Then you have the social part with social general discussion, where you will get to interact with others about social events and all the social things that will happen throughout the summer school. More information will be provided later. we have the diversity part. So this is the part where the channels will pop up if you react to one of the three icons in the whole channels, and you can also have access to this open discussion where you can interact about diversity. And then you have the channel where you will spend probably a lot of time. This is the channel dedicated to your pod. So in this channel, only the students from your pod and your TA will have access to the discussion. And this is really your place when you want to interact with other students, discuss the content and the specific organization of your pod. So as you may guess, all these channels will be probably very active, and you might somehow want to disable the notification ability, because whenever there will be a new message in one channel, you will get a sound and you will see that the channel will be highlighted in white. And if someone tag you in one of these channels, you will get a notification. So if you want to avoid these two, what you can do is while clicking on one of these channels, and you can either choose to mute it. So if you do that, you will not get the sound and you will not get the highlight in white of the channel, and you can select for how long you mute it, and you can select what notification you want. So either you keep the default option, which consists in whenever you are tagged, you will get a notification, and you can change it as you want. And you can do that as many times as you want. So that was for the walk through the different channels and the use of Discord. And now we will jump to the last part of this video, which is about support and how to get help if you have problem of any kind. So this is the whole of this channel. You see that you have that message that says that if you need help, you can just press the appropriate reaction below this message. So we split it in three sub-parts. The first part is general support. So if you need help with a general thing, just have to click on that icon, and I will demonstrate that just after. You will have a new channel that appears where you can interact with the team responsible for the support. You have the social support, which is about interactions with other participants. You just have to click on that icon. And lastly, you have technical issues. Whenever you have a problem with reaching the Zoom link or with the Google Colab or anything, and that you cannot resolve yourself, just click on that icon. And as you click on one of these icons here, you see that you will have a new channel that appear and where you can interact. So you can send message over here. So you send a message, and then you will get someone from the support team that will get in touch with you and help you solve that problem. And if you think that this problem is solved, what you can do is simply clicking on that icon. As you do that, you see that you will have two new icons that appear, one with a cross, one with a check mark. And if you think that you can really close this ticket, you just click on the check mark, and you see that the channel associated with that ticket has disappeared. So as you do that, only you, so the person that asked for the ticket, and people from the back end from the ticket tool will have access to that. So don't hesitate to go here if you have any issue. And one last thing is that you can also, so in the announcements channel, there will be probably announcements with time-specific information. For example, let's meet at 10 UTC tomorrow. And if you want to change this UTC time to your own time, what you can do is simply react to the message and using the emoji icon. So the way you can do that is if you click on the add reaction here, when you go to the clock check mark to the clock here, if you click on this clock, you will you will have a DM sent by a bot that transfers the timing in your very own time zone. Okay, so we went through all the Discord part, and the last thing you have to do now is go in this introduction channel, introduce yourself, and then enjoy the summer school for this summer.